The four NFC North teams battled each other this week. Did anybody manage to shake anything up at the top? The NFC is turning out to be a real barn burner at the top. Can Dallas or Carolina make any sort of headway in their game against each other? And was Buffalo able to hold off an upstart Jets team looking to take the division lead? All this and more coming up here on Tecmo Rewind. Hello everyone and welcome to Tecmo Rewind. I'm your host Joe, here to bring you all the highlights from around the league. After the astonishing level of talent and fun that was last week with Week 10, Week 11 has some big shoes to fill with some of its games. Was it able to manage that, or were we seeing just some rather big blowouts and some uninteresting things going on? Well, we're going to get to the highlights and show you what the answer to that question is. And we'll start with a battle of first in the AFC North versus last in the AFC North. The Bengals taking on the upstart Ravens. J.K. Dobbins making his return for Baltimore. On the first kickoff of the game, Chris Evans going to break a tackle and keep on going. He'll finally get stopped at about midfield. Sets up really good field position for Joe Burrow to patiently wait before throwing for Jamar Chase, who has no one even close to him, to score the touchdown, make a 7-0 start for Cincinnati. On the Ravens' first drive, Jackson going to get sacked by Trey Hendrickson. They'd be forced to punt. Bengals' next drive, Burrow dropping back before throwing for T. Higgins, and who dives for it in the end zone, makes it 14-0. On the Ravens' next drive, Devin Duvernay going to take this to about the 17 or so before he fumbles it, but he fumbles it out of bounds. That'll help Lamar some as he throws for Rashad Bateman, who dives for the touchdown to make it 14-7. However, the Bengals would drive down the field enough for Evan McPherson to kick a field goal to make it 17-7. Next drive for Baltimore, they drive down the field and Mark Andrews would make a touchdown to make it 17-14. Next Bengals drive, Travion Williams going to fumble the ball, going to bounce around a bit before the Bengals are able to secure it. They keep driving down the field, and Burrow throws for Jamar Chase to score for another touchdown, makes it 24-14. Next Ravens drive, Lamar tries to run forward, and he does. In fact, he's going to run forward so much that he's going to actually score to make it 24-21 Bengals. Next Bengals drive, Burrow dropping back, patiently tries to run forward, gets it off in time to avoid being sacked. T. Higgins going to get into the Ravens' red zone. They're not able to score a touchdown with it, but Evan McPherson gets to kick a field goal to make it 27-21 going into halftime. Third quarter, Lamar looks, throws for Zay Flowers. Instead, he finds Chidobe Awuzie, who takes it back for a pick six, 34-21. Next Ravens drive, Lamar runs forward but gets found and taken down by Trey Hendrickson. A couple plays later, it's 3rd and 18. Lamar, play action, rolls to his right, throws for Rashad Bateman, and Bateman going to be nowhere close to him. It's once again Chidobe Awuzie who gets another pick. That sets up good field position for Cincinnati. Burrow going to throw for T. Higgins, who is going to get right into the end zone for a touchdown, 41-21 Bengals. Next Ravens drive, Lamar gonna hand it off to J.K. Dobbins, and Dobbins is hurt yet again after just coming off of the injury list. So that means the Ravens going to rely on Gus Edwards yet again for running back. They'd be forced to punt. Odafe Owe would get to Joe Burrow for a sack on the Bengals' next drive. A couple plays later, though, Burrow going to get sacked by Justin Madubuike as well. So that means they have to rely on Evan McPherson to kick another field goal. Pretty decently long one, but he gets it through, 44-21. Next Ravens drive, fourth quarter actually. Lamar, play action, rolls to his right, throws for OBJ in the back of the end zone, touchdown Baltimore, 44-28. They're still coming back, and they will keep coming back if Justin Madubuike has his way and gets a sack on Joe Burrow. Burrow would get sacked again by Michael Pierce later on. They'd be forced to punt. Lamar would drive down the field with Baltimore and throw for Odell Beckham Jr. yet again for a touchdown, 44-35. They wouldn't get the onside kick, sadly, and T. Higgins going to seal this game away with a touchdown to make it 51-35. On the ensuing kickoff return, Devin Duvernay, he will not let this game go by if he can help it. He's going to get to about the 34. Lamar would drive down the field and throw for Mark Andrews, who gets into the end zone for a touchdown, makes it 51-42, but this game's over once Travion Williams scores a touchdown for a punch-in. 58-42, the Bengals end the winning streak of the Ravens. They go to 7-2, and they get Pittsburgh next week, who is white hot right now. Baltimore drops to 4-6, and as they had to head to LA to take on the Chargers next week. Now on to the city by the Bay as they take on Tampa Bay. Ray McLeod returning for the 49ers. First quarter, 49ers drive down the field and just give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. He'll find the end zone eventually. 7-0 San Francisco. First drive for Tampa Bay. Baker's going to get sacked by Nick Bosa, sends him back. They'd be forced to punt. 49ers next drive, though, Purdy going to get taken down by Levante David as the defense breaks through. But a couple plays later, Brock throws for Christian McCaffrey. Unfortunately, he gets picked off by Antoine Winfield Jr. That helps to set up Mayfield with a good field position, but Baker's going to get taken down by Fred Warner for a sack. A couple plays later, Mayfield's offensive line gets broken through yet again by Fred Warner, who gets another sack. They'd be forced to punt. Next 49ers possession, Purdy going to throw for Deebo Samuel, who leaps up to get this one and avoids getting a diving tackle thrown down on him. Doesn't get a score, but does get into very good field position for San Francisco. Purdy, unfortunately, would be sent backwards a little bit by Logan Hall sacking him. That means they got to rely on Jake Moody's leg for some points. Field goal goes through. It's 10-0 San Francisco to start this game. On the ensuing kickoff return, Devin Tompkins going to take this one and dodge and weave through all the 49ers players that he can. Throw from Mike Evans in the second quarter by Baker becomes a fumble that bounces around. Fortunately for the Buccaneers, they are able to secure it. Mayfield, a couple plays later, going to throw for Rachaad White. Unfortunately, he gets picked off by Charvarius Ward, who's going to take it back the other way into Tampa Bay territory, even if it's shallow Tampa territory. A couple plays into that drive, Purdy going to throw for Brandon Ayuk, and Ayuk wide open, no one even close to him after a diving tackle fails. 17-0 49ers. Buccaneers would punt on their next possession, and Purdy would hook up with Brandon Ayuk yet again, who dives for the touchdown. Rolney only has one or two men to beat, unable to beat them, though, as he gets taken down at the 4. Still a pretty good throw right there, and Christian McCaffrey punches in to make it 23-0, because unfortunately Jake Moody's extra point gets blocked. Next 49ers possession, though, Purdy going to try and run forward. Unfortunately, he gets wrapped and dumped and taken down by Levante David, but they keep driving down the field. Brock Purdy throws for Brandon Ayuk yet again in the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. It's 30-0. Ensuing Buccaneers drive, Javon Hargrave gets to Baker Mayfield, sends him back a couple big yards. Then, a couple plays later, Mayfield going to wait patiently, plenty of time from his offensive line, throws to his left for Cade Otton, who leaps up to make this grab. And Cade Otton, can he? Could he? Will he? He will not. He will be stopped short, but that's all right. Just toss it to Rachaad White, and White going to have a little bit of a struggle near the end zone there, but does score, make it 37. Ensuing 49ers drive, Purdy on the play action, throws for Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk, no one going to come close to stopping him, 37-7. Next Buccaneers possession, Mayfield gets wrapped up and taken down by Drake Jackson. Very next play later, Rachaad White's attempted catch gets picked off by Charvarius Ward. Another pick for him. The ensuing 49ers drive, couple plays into it, throw for Christian McCaffrey, who's already in the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Next Buccaneers possession, Mayfield throws for Mike Evans. Touchdown, makes it 44-14. Next play is a kickoff return. Ray McLeod is going to be injured. Oh man, he just got better in order to be able to come into this game. So that means the 49ers will switch to Elijah Mitchell for kicking and punt returns. On the drive for the 49ers, Purdy tries to run forward, but Kalijah Kancey takes him down from behind. Fourth quarter, they keep driving down the field, and after relying on Jake Moody's leg for the field goal, he doinks it through. 47-14 49ers. Next Buccaneers possession. Defense breaks through. Javon Hargrave gets a sack on Baker Mayfield. It's 4th and 23. Mayfield drops back, tries for a deep pass, something desperate, throws for Mike Evans. It's unable to be secured, so that means it's turnover on downs. Christian McCaffrey punches in for a touchdown, make it 54-14 for the 49ers. Ensuing Buccaneers drive, Rachaad White going to take this one and makes it a first down on a 4th down conversion. Unfortunately, Mayfield, while trying to drop back, gets taken out from behind by Fred Warner. So 4th and 23 yet again. Mayfield tosses to Rachaad White, hoping this time he might be able to get another first down on a 4th down conversion. Unable to do so, so it's turnover on downs. That helps Purdy to make this a 60-point game for the 49ers, as Brandon Ayuk will take this one in the end zone for a touchdown. On a 4th and 9, though, Buccaneers just trying to play for pride. Mayfield going to get sacked by Fred Warner yet again. 61-14, the final score for San Francisco. Might not be as impressive as their domination win over the Jaguars last week, but it does help them get to 7-2, and they head to Seattle next week for a big division rivalry game. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, drops to 2-7. They have to head to Indianapolis. Speaking of the Jaguars, they were taking on division rival Tennessee this week. First quarter, first drive for the Titans. Tannehill gets sacked by Roy Robertson, sends him back and forces them to punt. On the next Jaguars drive, though, Lawrence gets sacked by Roger McCreary, so that means they drive down the field and have to rely on Brandon McManus for a 60-plus yard field goal. Unfortunately, he's not able to make it, so he's still tied at 0. Next Titans possession, Tannehill hands it off to Derrick Henry after they drive down the field enough, and Derrick Henry breaks 3 tackles as he gets into the end zone to make it 7-0 Tennessee. On the ensuing Jaguars drive, though, Brandon McManus is going to put some points on the board for Jacksonville to make it 7-3 off that field goal. Next Titans possession in the second quarter, Ryan Tannehill tries to run forward, but Foye Oluokun is able to sack him and take him back. A couple plays afterwards, Tannehill tosses for Derrick Henry, and Henry going to get the first down and more as King Henry gets a touchdown, dodging a tackle to make it 14-3. Ensuing Jaguars drive, Lawrence tries to drop back and throw for Christian Kirk, and Kirk, no one even close to him after a missed tackle by Tennessee, makes it 14-10, still Titans lead. Ensuing drive for the Titans, Tannehill tries to run forward, he fumbles the ball on the strip sack, and it's recovered by Devin Lloyd, who starts taking it back the other way and gets taken down at about the 27. Fortunately, Jacksonville not able to do anything with it. Brandon McManus kicks for the field goal, makes it 14-13. Next Titans possession, Tannehill going to play action and roll to his left before waiting and throwing for DeAndre Hopkins, and Hopkins going to take this one easily into Jacksonville territory, gets down to about the 30. A couple plays later, just to get some points before halftime, Titans kick the field goal. Nick Folk's kick is good, 17-13. Third quarter, they drive down the field again, and the Titans kick another field goal to make it 20-13. Next Jaguars possession, Lawrence tries to run forward to get a better look, but he's wrapped up, tries to fight for some extra yardage before getting taken down by Jeffrey Simmons. A couple plays later, after driving down the field some more, Lawrence gonna wait patiently before throwing for Calvin Ridley, who's going to score an easy touchdown to make it 20-20, tied the game up. Nick Folk kicks in field goal for Tennessee to try and give them some extra points. How unfortunately it's no good, so the game is still tied at 20. Jaguars, however, would be forced to punt. Tannehill going to play action roll to his left on the next Titans possession, and he's going to throw for Hopkins. Doesn't even need to leap to get this one. Gets into the red zone before getting taken down at about the 13. That'll help to set up a punch in by King Henry. 27-20, Titans have the lead. Jaguars would punt the ball in the fourth quarter. Tannehill going to play action roll to his left with the defense waiting for him. Travon Walker gets the sack. They'd be forced to punt. Jacksonville's next possession, Lawrence throws for Christian Kirk, leaps up, avoids a tackle as a result, and keeps on going before getting taken down just outside of the red zone. That gives good field position for the Jaguars. A couple of plays later on a 2nd and 9, Lawrence going to run forward. He runs into a lineman trying to get some yardage and does get one before he throws it off for Calvin Ridley. He gets the touchdown, ties this game up at 27. Next Titans possession, Tannehill hands it off to Derrick Henry, breaks a tackle before getting through, makes it 34-27. Jaguars have some time, but they need to get it off quick. First play of the drive, throw for Travis Etienne, not very much. Second play, a toss for Travis Etienne, gets a first down, but they still are running out of time, less than 30 seconds. Lawrence throws for Calvin Ridley. Ridley, he has one man to beat. If he can do it, he can tie this game up, but he can't. The Titans, in a nail-biting game, come away with the win 34-27. They improve to 6-3 and get the Carolina Panthers next week. Meanwhile, Jacksonville drops to 2-7, and next week they head to Houston to take on their division rivals, the Texans. Jets have been quietly creeping up on Buffalo this year. Now they get a chance to take them on. First quarter, Rodgers going to throw for Garrett Wilson, who's already into deep Buffalo territory. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will. He gets the touchdown to make it 7-0 Jets. Ensuing drive for the Bills. Kyle Allen gets taken down by Carl Lawson. So that means the Bills are forced to punt. Ensuing Jets drive, Rodgers throws for Allen Lazard. Unfortunately, he gets picked off and throws for Micah Hyde instead. So Buffalo gets the ball into Jets territory. Then Kyle Allen gets taken down by C.J. Mosley in the back, so it's a sack. That means they have to rely on Tyler Bass for the field goal to give them points. 7-3, Buffalo still trailing. Jets have the ball again in the first quarter. Rodgers tries to run forward, but gets wrapped up before getting taken down by Terrell Bernard. They drive down the field a little more, and after a toss to Dalvin Cook, punches it in. Jets have a 14-3 lead. Bills next possession. Allen going to play action roll to his right. Going to look for Stefon Diggs. Diggs deep into Jets territory by the time he leaps up to get this one. No one anywhere even close to him. Kyle Allen throws a bomb for him. It's 14-10. Jets still have the lead. Next drive for the Jets. Second quarter. Throw for Garrett Wilson is already in the red zone by the time he gets it. After a missed diving tackle, no one even close to touching him. 21-10. Jets lead still. Next Bills possession. Allen going to get swarmed by Carl Lawson and the rest of the Jets defense. A couple plays later, Allen going to get taken down by Michael Carter this time. The Jets would punt it right back after the Bills punted it. So next Buffalo possession. Kyle Allen play action roll to his right. Throws for Stefon Diggs. Diggs going to barely get outside of the end zone. Gets to the 10-yard line. Couple plays later though, James Cook going to run it in for a touchdown, make it 21-17. Jets next possession. Rodgers going to get sacked in the end zone for a safety by Teron Johnson. And on the Bills next possession, Tyler Bass kicks a field goal that doinks in. 22-21. Buffalo gets their first lead of the game. Third quarter, Kyle Allen drops back before throwing for Dalton Kincaid. Unfortunately for him, getting right in front of him is Jordan Whitehead. So on the next Jets possession, Rodgers looking, patiently waiting, throws to his right for Allen Lazard. Lazard not going to get anyone close to him. 28-22 Jets. Next Bills possession. Kyle Allen tries to run forward, but he gets right into a lineman, and Quincy Williams takes him down for the sack. A couple plays later, Allen looking, tries to run forward yet again, but gets taken out by Michael Carter again. So that means they drive down the field, but they have to rely on Tyler Bass's leg. He kicks it through. 28-25. Jets have the lead. Next Jets possession. Rodgers runs forward, gets taken down from behind. It's a fumble recovered by Terrell Bernard, and Bernard, no one anywhere close to him, a scoop and score to make it a 32-28 lead for Buffalo. Next Jets possession, Rodgers going to throw it to his right for Allen Lazard again. It's a touchdown to make it 35-32. Buffalo's next possession, fourth quarter. Allen runs forward, gets taken down by DJ Reed after running for his life. Very next play, Allen going to carefully try to run forward. Unfortunately, he runs into a lineman yet again, gets wrapped up and taken down by Michael Carter yet again. Buffalo would punt, but the Jets would punt it right back. So on a 3rd and 6, Allen going to play action and roll to his right before looking for Stefon Diggs. Diggs in deep Jets territory by the time he leaps up to get this one. Touchdown for the Bills. Makes it 39-35 Buffalo. Jets next possession. Rodgers dropping back before getting taken down by Von Miller for a sack. Very next play. Rodgers runs into one of his linemen before getting taken down by Tre'Davious White. Third down. Rodgers dropping back, waiting patiently, giving it time, throws for Allen Lazard. Lazard into Buffalo territory by the time he gets it, and he gets taken down at about the 27. So, Jets would go through 3 downs before getting nothing. Fourth down, they hand it off to Dalvin Cook. Unfortunately, not able to get anything, but Buffalo would punt it to them yet again. So the Jets have more life in them. First play, a throw for Garrett Wilson. Wilson gonna dodge one tackle. Gonna get taken down at about the 11-ish or so. So that sets up good field position for the Jets. A throw for Allen Lazard in the end zone, incomplete. Second down, toss for Dalvin Cook. Cook going to take this one to about the 1. Is it a first down? No, it's not. It's third down. And on that third down, Rodgers dropping back, waiting patiently, tries to run forward with it himself, then throws for Conklin. Tyler Conklin gets the touchdown, and the Jets, with the come-from-behind victory there, 42-39. They get the victory and go to 6-3. They take on the Dolphins next week. Meanwhile, Buffalo drops to 7-3, and next week they take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. Browns and Steelers both at the top of the division, but the Steelers are currently the hottest team in the NFL. First quarter, Pickett going to get taken down by Dalvin Tomlinson, but they keep driving down the field. Pickett then would play action and roll to his right, throw for Deontay Johnson. Unfortunately, it goes right into the hands of Martin Emerson Jr. in the end zone. First possession for the Browns, Watson waiting patiently, throws for Amari Cooper. Instead, he finds Patrick Peterson, so that means the Steelers get it right back. Next drive for the Steelers, Najee Harris gets the touchdown run to make the Steelers go up on the board for 7-0. Ensuing Browns drive, a throw for Chase Atkins gets picked up by Cameron Hayward, and that helps to set up a Najee Harris punch in for the Steelers, 14-0. Next Browns drive, Watson going to get wrapped up in the back before getting taken down by Montravius Adams. They'd be forced to punt on the Steelers' next possession, second quarter. Throw for Pat Freiermuth gets picked off by Emerson yet again. But the Browns would be forced to punt since they couldn't do anything with it. Next drive the Steelers have. A fumble by Najee Harris gets recovered by the Steelers, thankfully. So they keep driving. Kenny Pickett going to run towards his right before throwing to Deontay Johnson in the end zone. 21-0 Steelers. Next Browns drive. Watson hands it off. No. Play action. Rolling to his right. Throws for Amari Cooper. Cooper deep into the territory, into the Steelers territory now. So that's a nice deep bomb. Unfortunately, however, he is injured on the tackle, so that means he's going to come out, and that means Elijah Moore comes in to replace him. They keep driving until they hand it off to Nick Chubb for a run-in for him, 21-7. End of the second quarter, Chris Boswell kicks it in for a field goal for the Steelers to go up 24-7 at halftime. Third quarter, Pierre Strong Jr. going to take this from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone before getting taken down and fumbling. It's going to bounce around before getting picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick of the Steelers, who's fighting for every last yard to give extremely good field position for Pickett to hand it off to Najee Harris for a punch in for a touchdown to make it 31-7 Steelers. Next drive for the Browns. Watson tries to run forward, gets wrapped up before getting taken down by Cole Holcomb. They'd be forced to punt. Next Steelers possession, Pickett going to throw for Pat Freiermuth over the middle. Instead, it goes right to Denzel Ward. So on the Browns possession off of that interception, Watson going to try and run forward. Unfortunately, Cole Holcomb there to take him down yet again. That means they have to rely on Dustin Hopkins to kick a field goal, and he kicks it through, 31-10 Steelers. On the next drive for the Steelers, Najee Harris going to punch it in after driving down the field until the 2, so it's 38-10. Next drive for the Browns, throw for Moore gets picked off by Peterson, so the Steelers get the ball in pretty decent starting position. This is a little bit less than what you get for a touchback. That sets up a George Pickens long bomb catch from Kenny Pickett. That's a touchdown from him, makes it 45-10 Steelers. Next drive for the Browns, Watson going to play action, roll to his right. Unfortunately, he's taken out in the end zone by Alex Highsmith, 47-10, and it's going to get to 54-10 after Najee Harris punches it in. So fourth down in the fourth quarter, Watson going to throw for Donovan Peoples-Jones, who dives for it. Unfortunately, can't catch it, so it's turnover on downs. However, the Browns defense would get to Pickett once more. Martin Emerson gets credited for the sack, but they keep driving down the field. Pickett waiting patiently before throwing to his left for Allen Robinson the second, 61-10. Browns just playing for pride at this point. Watson tries to run forward. He's going to get stripped, sacked, fumbled, bouncing around before finally getting picked up by the Steelers. And that'll basically put it away if it hasn't already. As they now continue with their dominant winning streak, making it 7 in a row. They go to 7-2 and head to Cincinnati next week to take on the Bengals. Meanwhile, Cleveland, they head to Denver next week to take on the Broncos. They drop to 6-3. Raiders and Dolphins trying to keep their seasons alive. Braxton Berrios making his return for Miami. First quarter, Raiders get the ball first. Jimmy G in shotgun formation, going to throw for Davante Adams over the middle, and Adams going to get into Miami territory. He's going to get all the way to about the 20 before he's finally taken down. That'll set up good field position for Daniel Carlson to kick a field goal that goes through. It's 3-0 Raiders to start this game. First drive for the Dolphins in the game. Raheem Mostert going to get tossed the ball, but he's going to fumble it while in Raiders territory, but he fumbles it out of bounds, thankfully, for Miami. So, a couple plays later, Tua going to play action before throwing for Jalen Waddle. Waddle going to get the touchdown, make it 7-3 Dolphins. Next drive for the Raiders. Garoppolo throws to his left for Adams yet again. Devontae Adams going to take this one all the way to about the 5. And that helps to set up a handoff from Jimmy Garoppolo to Josh Jacobs, and Jacobs just going to run it in for a touchdown. It's 10-7 after he gets met at the goal line. Next drive for the Dolphins, Max Crosby gets to Tua for a sack. A couple plays later, handoff to Raheem Mostert. Tries to get through one way, unfortunately not able to as he goes to the other side. He is hurt on the tackle. So that means that the Dolphins now have to rely on Jeff Wilson Jr. yet again to come in for running plays for him. Speaking of Wilson, he's going to get handed the ball later on as they keep driving down the field. He's going to get wrapped up before keeping on going. He is not going to get stopped. Yet again, another tackle broken after dodging up some more tackles, makes it 14-10 on the touchdown for the Dolphins. Jimmy G going to get sacked by Christian Wilkins, sent him back. And then after handing off to Josh Jacobs, it's 17-14 Raiders. Second half, the first possession the Raiders have, Garoppolo going to try and run forward with it. Unfortunately, the line ready for him. Christian Wilkins takes him down. They keep driving down the field, and Daniels Carlson kicks a field goal, making it 20-14 Raiders. Dolphins would punt the ball, and DeAndre Carter wouldn't get too far. The reason we're showing this is because, unfortunately, he gets hurt on the punt return. So that means Zamir White has to come in on kick returns and punt returns for the Raiders. A couple plays into the drive, Jimmy G throws for Jacoby Myers. Myers only has one man really that he's got to beat. Dodge the tackle. Can he make it all the way to the end zone? The defense, unfortunately, says no. They catch up to him. That means Daniel Carlson has to boot another field goal in. So it's 23-14 Raiders. On the ensuing drive for the Dolphins, fourth quarter, Tua going to throw for Tyreek Hill. Hill wide open. He's going to get in for the score. Makes it 23-21. Raiders still have the lead. On the ensuing drive, though, Josh Jacobs going to break two tackles and then fumbles the ball on the tackle that he does get. Colton Miller, though, will scoop it up for the Raiders. He's going to take it into Dolphins territory. And that'll set up Daniel Carlson booting yet another field goal. That makes it 26-21 Raiders. With the Dolphins still have plenty of time. Tua going to throw to his left for Jalen Waddle. And Waddle going to score to make it 28-26. The Raiders wouldn't get anything with it. They tried to punt it, but the Dolphins would hang on for too long. And after Tua throws a touchdown pass to Jalen Waddle, this game is over. The Dolphins come away with the victory. A come-from-behind win for them, 35-26. They improve to 4-5 and head to New York to take on the Jets next week. Raiders drop to 3-7, and they have to take on the Chiefs next week. Thankfully for them, it's in Vegas, but it looks like their season might be all but done for. Cardinals and Texans were both expected to be bottom feeders at the start of the season. Here they are playing each other. First quarter, first drive, Josh Dobbs attempted to throw for Zach Ertz. Is instead picked off by Jimmy Ward. The Texans would drive down the field, and Stroud tries to run in forward to get some better throwing room. Unfortunately, he's going to get wrapped up before getting taken down by Dennis Gardick. So that means they have to rely on Kymie Fairbairn's leg for the field goal. He boots it through. Texans get on the board first 3-0. Ensuing Cardinals drive, a toss for James Conner. Allows him to run forward until he fumbles the ball, and it's going to be picked up by the Texans and Christian Harris, who gets taken down at about the 26. That'll help C.J. Stroud with some good field position. A throw over the middle for Noah Brown is a touchdown. Unfortunately, it's 9-0 because Kymie Fairbairn's extra point, it's blocked by the Cardinals. So, second quarter, Josh Dobbs tries to run forward before he's wrapped up and taken down by Tavier Thomas. They would be forced to punt. Ensuing Texans drive, Devin Singletary going to fumble the ball before he can get a first down. It's recovered by the Cardinals. Couldn't quite tell who it was there. But a couple plays into the drive for the Cardinals, Josh Dobbs throws for Marquise Hollywood Brown. He gets a leaping catch. No one even in his neighborhood. He gets the touchdown to make it 9-7. Ensuing Texans drive, Stroud throws for Nico Collins. Unfortunately, it's intercepted by the safety Jalen Thompson. On the ensuing drive for the Cardinals, Dobbs going to throw to his left for Marquise Brown. He gets a touchdown to make it 14-9 Cardinals. On the next Texans drive, Stroud, patient, throws for Dalton Schultz. Unfortunately, it goes past him and into the hands of Budda Baker, who gets into Texans territory, if shallow Texans territory. To end the quarter and the half, Matt Prater tries for a field goal. Unfortunately, joints off the left upright, no good. But the half would actually end when C.J. Stroud tries to run forward and instead gets sacked by Josh Woods. So that means we go into halftime at 14-9. Third quarter, Nico Collins gets a touchdown to make it 16-14. Cardinals would punt after their drive, and Nico Collins would get another touchdown to make it 23-14. Ensuing Cardinals drive, Dobbs with the play action and the throw for Rondale Moore over the middle. He gets the touchdown to make it 23-21. Texans still have the lead. Ensuing kick return, Mike Boone going to be injured on the kick return. So that means that he will be taken out. On kick returns, he will be replaced with Dario Ogunbowale. On the drive after this, the very next play, actually, a throw for Devin Singletary instead, and is intercepted by Jalen Thompson yet again. So the Cardinals get another chance with it to try and take the lead. Next Cardinal possession, Dobbs going to try and run forward, but Jonathan Greenard stops him before he can get too far. 23-21. Matt Prater tries for a field goal to put the Cardinals up. Unfortunately, it's wide right, so the Texans still have a 2-point lead. Next drive for the Texans, Stroud going to throw for Nico Collins, and Nico Collins only has about 2 or 3 men to beat. Unfortunately, he will not beat them because he's going to fumble the ball and is going to get picked up by Marco Wilson of the Cardinals as he takes it back the other way. On the Cardinals' next drive, they drive down the field, and Matt Prater tries for the field goal again. This time it goes through, make it 24-23. Ensuing kick return. Ogunbowale is going to take this one past the 30, past the 40, and gets taken down at about the 43. But the Texans would be forced to punt. On the ensuing Cardinals drive, a throw for Rondale Moore instead goes to Tavier Thomas, but he will fumble the ball, and it gets recovered by Elijah Wilkinson, the left guard. So the Cardinals would get some chances with it, but they'd be forced to punt. Tank Dell would take it back the other way. So Texans need something good here. A throw for Nico Collins, incomplete. Second down and 10. Stroud in shotgun formation. Looking over the middle for Dalton Schultz. Not able to connect with him. Third down. Toss it to Devin Singletary. Singletary gonna get to... Did he get the first down? Yes, he did, but they're still running out of time. They have time for maybe 2 more plays. Stroud gonna drop back, then get running forward, but Dennis Gardick there to take him down. One last chance. It's second and long. They need a very long way to go to take the lead. Stroud throws for Noah Brown. It's incomplete. And the Cardinals get the victory here. They improve to 2-8. They take on the Rams next week. Texans, meanwhile, drop to 3-6 as they take on Jacksonville, a heated division rival who's also looking to try and save their season. Nine months ago, these two teams met in the Super Bowl, and now they meet for our game of the week. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs. Jalen Hurts making his triumphant return. They're going to need him against this Chiefs team. First quarter, Gabbert waiting patiently before throwing for Travis Kelce over the middle. He's going to take this one, and he is going to fumble it. It's going to get picked up by Jalen Carter of the Eagles. He's going to take it back the other way near where that set of downs started. Third and long for the Eagles in Chiefs territory. Hurts going to play action roll to his left before throwing for A.J. Brown, who's already in the end zone by the time he's thrown it. 7-0, Eagles take the lead. On the next drive for the Chiefs, Gabbert throws for Sky Moore to his left. Unfortunately, he finds James Bradbury. He's going to take it back for the Eagles, and he's going to take it all the way to about the 40-yard line. No, to the 50 and onward. He's going to finally get stopped, but only once he gets to about the 24. A couple plays later, Hurts going to throw to his right for Smith. Devonta Smith gets the touchdown and make it 14-0. Next Chiefs possession, Gabbert tries to run forward, but he's taken down from behind by Hassan Reddick. A couple plays later, Gabbert going to hand it off. No, play action roll to his right. Unfortunately, defense expecting that. Darius Slay gets credited for the sack. They keep driving down the field, though, and Gabbert going to hand it off to Isaiah Pacheco, who gets the touchdown run. 14-7 Eagles. The Eagles would drive down the field in the second quarter. A kick by Jake Elliott goes through to make it 17-7. Next Chiefs possession. Chiefs drive down the field. Gabbert tries to run forward, but he's taken down by Hassan Reddick yet again from behind. A couple plays later, though, Gabbert going to run forward, and he's going to throw it for Travis Kelce, who gets the touchdown. It's 17-14 Eagles. On the next drive for the Eagles, Kenneth Gainwell going to be injured, and they were already missing DeAndre Swift. So that means they're going to have to instead rely on the third string, Rashad Penny, to come in for running back. The Eagles would get one more chance to score before halftime, a Jake Elliott field goal to make it 20-14. Third quarter, man in motion for the Eagles as Hurts is going to play action roll to his left. He's going to throw for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, a fantastic specimen of a wide receiver, going to get into pretty decent Chiefs territory. That'll help set up Hurts throwing for Devonta Smith, who gets a touchdown, make it 27-14. Next Chiefs drive, Gabbert going to play action, roll to his right. He's going to try and look for Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who tries to jump up to get it. Unfortunately, it goes into the hands of Darius Slay. On the following possession by the Eagles, Willie Gay would get to Jalen Hurts for the sack, so that means they have to rely on Jake Elliott's leg for a field goal, and he kicks it through, so it's 30-14 Eagles. Couple plays into the Chiefs' next drive. Gabbert going to play action, roll to his right. You know exactly who he's going to look for. It's the same guy that Patrick Mahomes throws for. It's Kadarius Toney, who is wide open. Maybe one man to beat. That man doesn't get beaten, though, as he gets taken down at about the 10-yard line. That'll help to set up good field position for the Chiefs. Gabbert in shotgun formation, going to try and run forward with it himself, and throws for Travis Kelce, who he finds. 30-21, Chiefs still trailing by 9. Fourth quarter, Hurts going to throw for Devontae Smith, and Smith going to dive for this one. No one even close to him. It's 37-21, Eagles have the lead. Next Chiefs possession, Gabbert in desperation mode, throwing to his left for MVS. Instead, he finds James Bradberry yet again. For the second time today, he finds him, actually. Jalen Hurts tries to run forward on the ensuing drive, but he gets taken down by Chris Jones at just shy of midfield. But the Eagles keep driving, and Hurts throwing over the middle for Dallas Goedert gets a touchdown to make it 44-21. Next Chiefs possession, Gabbert throws for MVS yet again, and once again, James Bradberry there to pick him off. So the Eagles get even more chances to extend their lead. A play-action roll to the left for Hurts, throw for A.J. Brown, who is deep into Chiefs territory by the time he gets thrown the ball, and no one anywhere close to him to be able to stop him from scoring with that ball. The Eagles come away with the upset revenge, 51-21. They improve to 4-5 and take on the Bills next week. Meanwhile, Kansas City, they need Patrick Mahomes back big time. They drop to 6-3. And their next opponent is Jacksonville in a rematch of the AFC Divisional Round game from last year. Now for a couple games that might determine how the top of the NFC looks in the playoffs, starting with the Detroit Lions hosting the Chicago Bears. Khalil Herbert returning for Chicago. They will definitely need him. First quarter for the Bears. Peterman waiting patiently before throwing for somebody. Brian Branch, though, there to pick him off. A couple plays into the drive. Good field position for the Lions. Goff going to hand it off to Craig Reynolds, who scores the touchdown. 7-0 Lions going on the board first. On the next Bears drive, Peterman tries to run forward, but he's taken down by Brian Branch, who gets a sack on top of his interception. They'd be forced to punt. Next Lions possession, Goff going to throw to his left for Jahmyr Gibbs. Unfortunately, he finds... But on the next field possession for the Bears, Peterman going to get sacked by Alan McNeil, sending him back. Next drive for the Lions, Goff going to get sacked by TJ Edwards. A couple plays later, Goff going to be in shotgun formation, tries to run forward, runs into a lineman before getting taken down by Andrew Billings, so they'd be forced to punt. Bears possession to start the second quarter. Peterman waiting patiently, throwing to his right for Khalil Herbert. Instead, he finds Derek Barnes, who will set up good field position for a Riley Patterson field goal to make it 10-0 Lions. Ensuing Bears drive, it was a punt, so afterwards the Lions, Goff just going to throw to his right for Amon-Ra St. Brown for a 17-0 lead for Detroit. Next Bears possession, Peterman going to try and run forward, going to run into a lineman before Aiden Hutchinson tackles him just about where the set of downs started. Next Lions drive after the Bears punt, Jahmyr Gibbs plowing through the defense to make it 24-0. Third quarter, Goff in shotgun formation, going to wait patiently, plenty of time, throws to his right for Brock Wright. Wright going to jump up to get this one and takes it into pretty good Chicago territory before getting taken down about the 23. Very next play, Goff going to drop back before throwing for Jahmyr Gibbs, and Gibbs dodging and juking to get the touchdown to make it 31-0 Lions. On the ensuing Bears drive, they finally get a field goal? No. Cairo Santos wide left, so it's still 31-0. Lions next drive, Goff going to get wrapped up and taken down by TJ Edwards. They'd be forced to punt. Bears next possession is a 3rd and 10. Peterman, play action, roll to his left. Oh yeah, didn't they get this guy from Carolina? It's DJ Moore. He's been wondering when he's going to get the ball more. And he's going to take it into deep Detroit territory before getting taken down at about the 11. That sets up good field position for Peterman and the Bears. Unfortunately, the Lions do break through, but fortunately for him, Chase Claypool will catch the touchdown, make it 31-7, so the Bears won't get shut out. Next Lions possession, Goff going to throw to his right in the fourth quarter. It's to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is wide open after dodging a touchdown, and no one going to stop him. Makes it 38-7. Next Bears possession, 4th and long. Peterman in shotgun formation decides he's going to take it himself. I guess they want to see what he can do. He's going to get some pretty good yardage, but not very far. So it's turnover on downs. Next Lions possession, because of that turnover on downs, Goff tries to run forward and gets it off just before the defense can get to him for Amon-Ra St. Brown to score a touchdown. Makes it 44-7 because unfortunately Riley Patterson's extra point gets blocked by the Bears. Next Bears possession has a 4th and 10 for Peterman. Peterman going to drop back before running forward. He's going to take it himself yet again. Fortunately, once again, not able to get the first down. On the ensuing Lions drive, a throw for Josh Reynolds is a touchdown to make it 51-7. Next Bears possession, Peterman tries to run forward, but he gets wrapped up and taken down by Isaiah Buggs. Then, a couple plays after that, Peterman, waiting patiently, throws to his right for Darnell Mooney. Mooney gonna get wrapped up, but he's gonna fumble the ball on the tackle, and it's gonna get picked up by Aiden Hutchinson of the Lions. And yeah, this game was a blowout in favor of Detroit, 51-7. They improved to 8-1, and next week they take on Green Bay on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, Chicago drops to 2-8 as they have to head to Minnesota. Their season may all but be done now, if it wasn't already before. Now on to the other blue and silver teams, as the Cowboys were in Carolina taking on the Panthers this week. First quarter, Panthers' first drive. Bryce Young going to throw for Adam Thielen, who's going to fumble the ball. It's going to bounce around, but thankfully for the Carolina Panthers, it's secured by Jonathan Mingo. And Mingo might just be taking this all the way to the end zone if Dallas doesn't do anything, and he will. It's 7-0 Carolina. Ensuing drive for the Cowboys, the kickoff return. Rico Dowdle going to take this one pretty deep. He's going to get all the way to about the 44, so it's a good field position for Dallas. But Prescott going to get sacked by Brian Burns, sending him back. A couple plays later, Prescott going to get sacked yet again by Derek Brown, sending him back even more, so they'd be forced to punt. On the ensuing punt return, a fumble gets recovered by Terrence Steele, so the Cowboys tie it up at 7. Next Panthers drive, Young runs forward and throws for DJ Chark. He dives forward, unfortunately it's intercepted by Malik Hooker. The Cowboys would drive down the field, and Brandon Aubrey would kick a field goal to put the Cowboys up 10-7. Next drive, watch this very carefully. Bryce Young going to throw over the middle for Adam Thielen. It gets picked off by a very quick Stephon Gilmore, but he fumbles it right into the hands of Austin Corbett immediately, who gets the first down essentially. They drive down the field, and Eddie Pinheiro would try for a field goal for 50-plus yarders, but it doinks off the right upright, so it's still 10-7. The Cowboys would get the ball, and Brandon Aubrey would try for a field goal of his own. This time it goes through, so it's 13-7. Next drive for the Panthers. Young, looking, waiting, throws to his right for Miles Sanders. Instead, he finds Stephon Gilmore yet again, so it's an interception for Dallas. Handoff to Tony Pollard on the Cowboys drive is fumbled, and it goes right into the hands of Derek Brown, who tries to take it back into Dallas territory. On the Panthers' possession following this, Young going to try and run forward, but gets wrapped up by Deron Bland. So that means they have to rely on Eddie Pinheiro's leg, but this is a 60-plus yarder. Can he make it? No, he is short. So Cowboys get the ball back, and at the end of the half, Tony Pollard punches it in to make it 20-7. Third quarter, Prescott play action, throws to his left for CeeDee Lamb. Lamb going to take this one all the way to the end zone if Carolina does not stop him, and Carolina will stop him at about the 4-yard line. That is unfortunate for Dallas. They really didn't want that to happen, but that's all right. Prescott says just give it to Tony Pollard for a touchdown. 5-yard run by him makes it 27-7. Next Panthers drive, they need help immediately. Young throws for DJ Chark, his best weapon, his favorite target. And Chark going to get into deep Dallas territory before he's taken down to about the 11. That sets up a handoff to Miles Sanders for a touchdown, makes it 27-14. Next drive for Dallas, Prescott throws to his left for CeeDee Lamb. Easily his best weapon and his favorite target, as he's going to take this one to the end zone for a touchdown, 34-14. Next Panthers drive, Young tries to run forward, but he's taken down by Osa Odigizua. A couple plays later, Young tries to run forward yet again, this time taken out by Leighton Vander Esch. Very next play after that, Young taken down by Leighton Vander Esch yet again, but they keep driving down the field. Hand off to Miles Sanders is a touchdown, makes it 34-20 because Eddie Pinheiro's extra point is blocked. The Cowboys have a 14-point lead. Fourth quarter possession for Dallas. Their first possession in the quarter, throw for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has one man to beat, and this man is gone until he gets to the 11 where he is stopped. That'll set up a Tony Pollard toss. That'll be a touchdown for Dallas to make it 41-20. Carolina needs points, and they need them bad. A handoff or toss to Miles Sanders in deep Dallas territory is a touchdown to make it 41-27. Next Dallas possession, Prescott trying to put this away by throwing for Brandon Cooks, and he dives for it and fumbles the ball as soon as he gets up and is taken down. and it bounced around before it's finally recovered by J.C. Horn of the Panthers. He's going to break a tackle before breaking a second one before finally getting taken down about the 28. Panthers drive down the field. Bryce Young going to fumble the ball. Fortunately for him, it's secured by somebody on his team. That'll help with Miles Sanders punching in for a touchdown. Makes it 41-34. Cowboys would punt, and Miles Sanders, first down, it doesn't go very far. Second down, doesn't quite get a first down there. Third down, Young throws to his left. It's Jonathan Mingo. Mingo gonna take this one to the red zone, but they don't have much time. They have less than 20 seconds. Young dropping back, waiting, throws for Mingo yet again, and he scores it. We're going into overtime, tied at 41. How about this game? Can Carolina secure the comeback? Dallas calls tails, but it's heads, so Carolina gets the ball first. First possession. Toss for Miles Sanders. He runs along the right side. Sanders going to not be stopped if Dallas doesn't catch him, and they do eventually. Gets him to about the 48. He's stuffed on the first down there. Second down, he breaks through. He gets into Dallas territory before getting taken down at the 33. So it's another set of downs. Toss to him yet again. He's going to get the first down here as he gets to the 20. That's good enough, they say. Eddie Pinheiro, kick on the way. If he makes it, they win. And he does. Dallas is beaten. Carolina with the upset victory, 44-41. They go to 8-1 and have to head to Tennessee next week. Dallas drops to 6-3. That's 2 straight losses for them. And they have a tough game next week against their division rival, the Washington Commanders. With Atlanta off this week, Seattle needs a win to try and keep pace with some of the teams in the playoff picture. They're taking on the LA Rams in LA. DJ Dallas making a return for the Seahawks. First quarter, first possession for the Rams. Stafford going to drop back for throwing for Van Jefferson over the middle. Van Jefferson going to fumble the ball. It's going to bounce around a bit before it's picked up by Jamal Adams, who gets to where that first down marker was. Couple plays into the drive. Smith going to drop back, tries to run forward, but Ernest Brown takes him down before he can. Very next play, Smith going to hand it off to Kenneth Walker III. Walker going to dodge and weave and juke and do everything he can to make himself unable to be tackled for the Seahawks to get a touchdown. It's 7-0. Next drive for the Rams, Draymond Jones gets the sack on Stafford. A couple plays later, they drive down, and Akers going to fumble the ball, and it goes into the hands of Jamal Adams before it can fumble out of bounds, and he's going to get taken down at the 45. Seattle would drive down the field, and Smith going to toss for Kenneth Walker, who gets the touchdown to make it 14-0 Seahawks. End of the first quarter, or at least close to it. Stafford going to get taken out by Uchenna Nwosu. They keep driving down the field. Second quarter, a handoff to Cam Akers as a touchdown, makes it 14-7. Next drive for the Seahawks. Smith throws to his left for Tyler Lockett. Lockett, wide open. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will not. He's going to get taken down about the 19. That's all right. They're just going to toss it to Kenneth Walker. And Seattle going to make a 21-7 lead now. Next Rams possession, Stafford going to get swarmed by Jordan Brooks and the Seattle defense. A couple plays later, Stafford going to get taken down by Bobby Wagner of the Legion of Boom. Very next play after that, a throw for Cooper Kupp is going to be a touchdown throw to Cooper Kupp. Makes it 21-14 Seattle. On the Seahawks' next drive, Smith going to toss for Kenneth Walker yet again. And Walker going to break a tackle. That's the good news. Bad news, he didn't get the first down. Worst news, he is injured on that run. So that means that the Rams are going to rely on DJ Dallas to come in at running back. A couple plays later, Smith in shotgun formation tries to run forward, but Aaron Donald takes him down. Probably the best defensive player in the league. That means they have to rely on Jason Myers for the field goal, which he does get it through, 24-14. Stafford on his next possession going to get taken down by Mario Edwards. A couple plays. Next play, Stafford going to get taken down by Jerron Reed. On the ensuing punt return, DJ Dallas going to get taken down at about the 42, and now he is hurt at the end of the second quarter. So that means on running back plays, they'll go with Kenny McIntosh, while fellow rookie Jake Bobo comes in on kick and punt returns. Third quarter, the handoff to Cam Akers gets a touchdown for the Rams, but it's 24-20 because the extra point by Maher is blocked. On the ensuing kick return, Bobo going to break a tackle and keep on going. He may be a rookie, but he's showing that the kick returners have been dominant all year. Continuing on, the Seahawks drive a throw for Tyler Lockett. He is wide open for a touchdown. Makes it 31-20. Seattle still has a big lead. Ensuing drive for the Rams, Stafford tries to run forward. He's going to get wrapped up and taken down from behind by Boye Mafe. That means they have to rely on Brett Maher yet again. Maher's kick on the way is good, so it's 31-23. Next Rams possession, because the Seahawks are forced to punt, a throw for Skoranek is going to take him all the way to about the 38 before he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by the Seahawks, Uchenna Nwosu. He's going to take it back the other way, break every tackle that he can before he's finally taken down. Never, actually. He gets a 38-23 lead for Seattle. Next drive for the Rams, Stafford going to get taken down by Mario Edwards. A couple plays later, Stafford going to get taken down by Bobby Wagner. So it's 4th and 25. Stafford dropping back, tries to run forward, but Bobby Wagner gets the safety. So that was not going to end well for the Rams in that regard. Smith going to drop back on his next drive before getting wrapped up and taken down by Aaron Donald while in Rams territory. So they rely on Jason Myers to kick the field goal. It is through and good. Seahawks take a 20-point lead. Next Rams possession. It's 4th and 6. Matthew Stafford tries to run forward, throws for Cooper Kupp, who dives for it for the first down and more. Kupp going to get into the red zone for the Rams. A couple plays later, Stafford tries to run forward, but Mario Edwards takes him down, and that is the least of their problems. Matthew Stafford, the man that led them to a Super Bowl, is injured, so that means the rookie Stetson Bennett is going to come in. A couple plays later, Bennett going to try and run forward, but Mario Edwards gets to him too. So it's 4th and 21. The Rams are all but done. They're just playing for pride. A throw for Tutu Atwell does not even get to where that set of downs started. And the Seahawks pull away with a needed victory, 43-23. They improve to 5-4 and take on San Francisco next week. Meanwhile, the Rams drop to 2-7 as they have to head to Arizona to take on another NFC West opponent in the Cardinals. It's NFC West versus NFC West all week next week. Meanwhile, another team that started at 500 this week trying to get a good win as the Chargers heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers. First quarter, Herbert going to drop back before waiting patiently and throwing for Kyle Allen, who's in the end zone for a touchdown, makes it 7-0. Packers would punt on their next drive, and Herbert would just hand it off to Austin Eckler to punch it in to make it 14-0 on their next drive. On the Packers drive after that, Love going to throw for Romeo Doubs. Instead, it finds its way into the hands of Edgerrin James Jr. Sets up good field position for the Chargers. For Herbert to once again throw, this time for Austin Eckler, makes it 21-0. Emmanuel Wilson going to take this one past the 30 and almost to the 35. Pretty good run by him. Into the drive we go. Love tries to throw for Luke Musgrave, and Musgrave going to get the first down and more. Gets taken down just shy of midfield, and unfortunately, he's going to get hurt on that catch as well. So Josiah DeGuara is going to come in for them. Packers will drive down the field some more, and Aaron Jones going to punch in for a touchdown to make it 21-7. Next drive for the Chargers, Herbert waiting and throwing for Mike Williams, who's got the first down and more. Got one man to really beat, and unfortunately for him, he's not going to beat him, but he's going to get good field position for the Chargers in the next set of downs. Chargers would keep going until Mike Williams gets a touchdown, this time make it 28-7 Chargers. Third quarter, Cameron Dicker has to come out to make a field goal, and Dicker, the kicker's kick, doinks off the left upright. It's no good. Packers drive down the field, and Anders Carlson, his field goal would be doinking in off the left upright, makes it 28-10. Chargers would punt, and on the next drive for the Packers, Love throws for Christian Watson for a touchdown, 28-17 Chargers. Next Chargers possession, Herbert at the end of the third quarter gonna run with it himself, and Herbert gonna keep on going. He's gonna score a touchdown to make it 35-17 Chargers. Fourth quarter, Love going to get taken down by Joey Bosa on a sack. A couple plays later, Love going to play action before throwing for Christian Watson in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Makes it 35-24. Next Chargers possession, Austin Eckler runs in for a touchdown, 42-24. Next Packers possession, Love throws to his right for Christian Watson yet again. And Watson going to keep on going all the way until he gets finally taken down at about the 23. So Love dropping back a couple plays later, looking and throwing for Aaron Jones, and Jones going to get the touchdown. Makes it 42-31. Next Chargers possession, though, Herbert going to run forward, fumbles the ball. It's recovered by Devontae Wyatt, and Wyatt going to take it, break a tackle, going to have to break another one. He dodges it for a touchdown. Makes it 42-38. But the Packers can't get the onside kick recovery, and the Chargers pull away with the win. They improve to 5-4, and they get Baltimore next week. Meanwhile, Green Bay drops to 6-3, but they've got a real big game next week. They head to Detroit for one of our 2 games of the week on Thanksgiving. Another team that needs some wins to keep pace in the playoff race, the Washington Commanders. They were hosting the New York Giants this week. Got their first win of the season last week. First quarter, first drive for the Commanders. Howell going to drop back. Then, unfortunately, Leonard Williams gets to him. He's taken down for a sack. A couple plays later, though, a handoff to Brian Robinson is unfortunately a fumble that goes right into the hands of Jason Pinnock, who takes it back for the Giants. A couple plays into the drive for the Giants, though, Jones going to get picked off. What was meant for a play for Darius Slayton is instead goes right to the rookie Emmanuel Forms. Next drive for the Commanders off of that interception. Curtis Samuel going to get this one, but unfortunately he is hurt as a result. So that means the Commanders will have to switch to De'Ami Brown for the first position for wide receiver. A couple plays into the drive later, Brian Robinson going to dodge every tackle that he can get before getting a touchdown. 7-0 Commanders get on the board first. Next Giants possession, Jones going to throw for Darius Slayton. Unfortunately, picked off by Derek Forrest. However, the Commanders would be forced to punt. Next Giants possession, Jones going to get wrapped up and taken down by Cody Barton. They'd be forced to punt. Next possession for the Commanders, it's the second quarter. Howell going to run forward, but he's taken down by Leonard Williams. Then, a couple plays after that, Brian Robinson going to get tossed the ball. Robinson going to take this one to a first down, but he fumbles the ball just after crossing the first down marker, and Xavier McKinney will take this one back for the Giants. That'll help set up Jones connecting with Darius Slayton for real this time, and Slayton going to get the touchdown to tie this game up at 7. Next Commanders possession, actually off the kick return. Antonio Gibson going to break a tackle, breaks another one, fumbles the ball, but he fumbles it out of bounds. Smart work there. They drive down the field, and Howell going to play action roll to his left before throwing for Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin gets the touchdown for the Commanders, make it 14-7 Washington lead. On their drive, Jones going to play action, throw to his right for Isaiah Hodgins. Hodgins going to get picked off by Cameron Curl, and Curl breaks a tackle and then some as he makes it a pick 6. It's 21-7 Commanders. On the Giants' next drive, Jones going to get sacked in the end zone for a safety by Benjamin St-Juste. On the ensuing drive for the Commanders after that safety, toss to Brian Robinson. Robinson going to run along the right side, and he's going to fumble it, but he fumbles it right into the hands of Azeez Ojulari. So the Giants get the ball back, but unfortunately can't do anything with it before halftime. Third quarter, Jones tries to run forward, but Benjamin St-Juste gets to him for a sack. They'd be forced to punt. Next drive for the Commanders. Howell dropping back, throws to his right for McLaurin, and Scary Terry does it again. Touchdown Commanders, makes it 30-7. Next drive, Daniel Jones tries to run forward, runs into lineman before getting taken down by Benjamin St-Juste. So next play, Jones going to try and run forward, gets taken down by Jonathan Allen. Third down, Jones going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley. Barkley going to try and run forward, tries to get the first down, does succeed in getting the first down and more, as he's going to get taken down at about the 45. A couple plays later, after driving down the field some more, Barkley going to run it in for a touchdown, makes it 30-14. Fourth quarter, Howell going to play action roll to his left before throwing for Jahan Dotson, who's been a great target for him all year. Jahan Dotson gets the touchdown to make it 37-14. On the kick return, Gary Brightwell going to take this one pretty deep for the Giants. Going to get it into the 30 and taken down at about the 32. Giants would keep driving down the field, and Daniel Jones going to run in the touchdown himself to make it 37-21. Giants still have some life in him, but the Commanders going to snuff that life out. As Howell going to throw for Jahan Dotson, and Dotson going to get the touchdown here. Makes it 44-21. Next Giants possession. Jones just trying to play for pride, but Benjamin St-Juste says no. He's taken down on a sack. 4th and 6. Jones going to go for it. Shotgun formation. Throws to his left for Saquon Barkley. It's incomplete, so the Commanders get the ball back. And just to add more insult to injury, Brian Robinson gets another touchdown. Makes it 51-21. And on the ensuing kick return, Gary Brightwell tries to give some good field position for the Giants, and he does get them to the 31. Jones just trying anything he can right now, but Benjamin St-Juste gets to him for a sack. And on a 4th and 12, Jones says, please let me get a 4th down conversion. Throws for Darren Waller, incomplete. Commanders come away with quite the victory here, 51-21. They improved to 5-5, and the Giants dropped to 1-9. The Giants, though, get New England next week. Giants are used to playing spoilers against the Patriots, spoiling Super Bowls, now trying to spoil their playoffs next week. Meanwhile, the Commanders head down to Dallas for our second game of the week next week on Thanksgiving in Week 12. Finally, we make a stop up in the blustery mountains of Colorado as Samaje Perine returns to the Broncos, who take on the Vikings. First drive for the Broncos. Russell Wilson going to toss for Javonte Williams for the touchdown. 7-0 Denver. On the first drive for the Vikings, though, Cousins going to score back with a touchdown pass to Jordan Addison. Ties this game up. On the Broncos' next drive, Wilson, play action, going to look and throw to his left for Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy has to dive for it. Good news, no one anywhere close to him when he started that dive. Bad news, it gave him enough time to catch up to him, and he's going to be stopped just short of the end zone. So, on the very next play, Wilson going to toss it to Williams. He's going to score the touchdown, makes it 14-7 Denver. Ensuing drive for the Vikings, though, Alexander Mattison punches in a run from even farther out to tie the game up at 14. Next Broncos possession in the second quarter. Williams going to take this one and fumble it, actually. It goes right into the hands of Cameron Bynum, and Bynum going to get good field position for the Vikings. Fortunately, Minnesota can't quite score a touchdown with it, so they rely on Greg Joseph's leg for the field goal. Makes it 17-14. Next Broncos possession. Wilson in shotgun formation, running forward. Running out of room to run, though, as the defense gets to him. He's taken down eventually by Jordan Hicks. They'd be forced to punt. Next Vikings possession. Cousins tries to run forward. DJ Jones gets to him. Then, a couple plays afterwards, a handoff to Madison is a fumble. It goes into the hands of Josie Jewell, who takes it back the other way while still in Denver territory. So, a couple plays later, Wilson going to get sacked by Brian Asamoah. Defense says that's payback. Third quarter, Wilson has the ball, but he gets taken down by Danielle Hunter. Sacked here. And then he gets sacked again as the defense breaks through by Brian Asamoah. They'd be forced to punt. Vikings would drive down the field, and Cousins is going to try and run forward with it. Fortunately, he's taken down from behind by Jonathan Harris. A couple plays later, though, Cousins throws for Alexander Mattison. It's picked off by Caden Stearns. That cuts up a good field position for Denver. And Wilson going to get taken out by Khyiris Tonga. So they'd be forced to punt. Minnesota gets some decent field position. Throw for Justin Jefferson by Kirk Cousins. He leaps up to get this one, and Jefferson, can he? Could he? Will he? No. He's going to get taken down at about the 12. Cousins, though, patient, waiting, looking, throws for Jefferson yet again. It's a touchdown to make it 24-14. Fourth quarter, 4th down and 10. Broncos need help as much as they can get. Wilson going to play action roll to his right. He's going to throw for Cortland Sutton, and Sutton's going to get the touchdown to make it 24-21. Vikings next possession. Cousins waiting patiently before throwing to his left for Justin Jefferson. Leaps up and gets this touchdown catch to make it 31-21. Next Broncos possession starts with the kick return. Mims going to get to about the 20. And unfortunately, he is going to be hurt. So Marvin Mims going to have to be taken out of the game. So Brian Johnson to kind of come in for wide receiver, and Samaje Perine comes in on kick and punt returns. On the drive for the Broncos, a throw by Wilson to Jerry Jeudy while in Minnesota territory is a touchdown. Makes it 31-28. Broncos go for the onside kick. Will Lutz, though, he's got the leg to do it, and he's got the onside kick successful. That'll lead to Wilson throwing for Jerry Jeudy for a touchdown. So the Broncos finally get the lead. It's 35-31. Cousins, though, going to get sacked by Zach Allen, sending him back. Next play, the handoff to Alexander Mattison. Madison going to get the first down and more, and he's going to get taken down at about the 12-yard line. So, very next play after that, Cousins play action, throws over the middle, incomplete. Second down, Cousins play action, waiting, throwing over the middle for Madison yet again, and he scores the touchdown to make it 38-35. The Broncos need help. Wilson tries to throw for Williams, but it's incomplete. Time for one last play. Wilson, play action, rolling to his right. He needs a big one. He's looking. He's throwing for Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton. He's in the Minnesota territory, but he's taken down. And time is up. And the Vikings make sure the Broncos cannot secure the comeback. They win 38-35 and improve to 6-4. They need that in this tough playoff race for the NFC as they take on the Bears next week. Denver drops to 3-6, their season in jeopardy, as they're going to take on the Cleveland Browns next week. That's going to be a tough one for them. And with that final game in the books, let's take a look at how the standings look in the NFL, starting with the AFC. In the East, the Bills still maintain the lead at 7-3, but the Jets nipping at their heels thanks to their upset victory here. They are at 6-3. New England at 5-4 is currently in third place, and in fourth place, it's the Dolphins at 4-5. Into the AFC North, the Bengals and Steelers are now tied at the top, facing each other next week. That should be an interesting one. They're at 7-2. Cleveland only a game behind them at 6-3. And though the Ravens lost, their 4-6 still puts them in a good position to try and catch up with Cleveland if they can. In the AFC South, the Titans once again maintain their lead at 6-3. With a win from them and a loss from the Texans and Jaguars, this gives them a big lead for the AFC South. Texans are at 3-6. Jacksonville tied with the Colts at 2-7. And in the West, though they lost, the Chiefs are still a game ahead of the Chargers. They're at 6-3. The Chargers are at 5-4. Denver at 3-6 could try to catch up to the Chargers, but that's a big task. And the Raiders down at the bottom at 3-7. For the actual AFC playoff standings, the Bengals currently have the first overall seed with the Bills right behind them. The Chiefs would be playing the Jets, actually, if the season were to end today. All the Titans would be playing the Steelers. The Browns, Chargers, Patriots, and Dolphins, though, all the teams on the outside looking in. Moving on to the NFC in the East, the Cowboys are at 6-3. This puts them only a game and a half ahead of the Commanders for the lead in the division. Commanders at 5-5. Philadelphia just behind Washington at 4-5, and the Giants all the way down at the bottom at 1-9. Moving on to the NFC North, where things should be interesting. The Lions and Packers play each other in Week 12 on our game of the week. This puts this into an interesting position, because if the Lions lose that game, they would drop to only being a game ahead of Green Bay. Minnesota also trying to catch up with both of them. They're only a half a game behind Green Bay right now. But all the way down at the bottom, though, the team no one is considering in the NFC North, it's the Chicago Bears at 2-8. In the NFC South, the Panthers once again maintain their lead with a win and a bye week from the Falcons. Panthers are at 8-1, Atlanta at 6-3, but both of those teams still in the playoff race. Tampa Bay and New Orleans, though, not so much. They're tied at 2-7. And in the West, the 49ers still keep their hold on that division lead, but Seattle, they're still coming for them. They're 2 games behind San Francisco at 5-4. The Rams, though, are all the way at the bottom at 2-7, with the Cardinals at 2-8, dwelling in the basement where neither of those teams wants to be. And into the NFC playoff standings, no big shakeups other than the Cowboys dropping to the 4th overall seed. This would put them up against the Packers if the season were to end today. Meanwhile, the 49ers go to the 3 seed. This would let them play the Falcons if the season ended today. The Vikings, Seahawks, Commanders, and Eagles, with wins from all 4 of these teams, they maintain their positions in the NFC playoff standings. That's going to do it for us here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. We welcome you to join us back here on Thanksgiving for our doubleheader games. First, the Lions hosting the Green Bay Packers, and then the Cowboys hosting the Commanders. And later on in the week, join us for our Week 12 Tecmo Rewind. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm Joe saying good night, everybody.